All right, so you're ready to record your first podcast. Do you have a microphone? Who's going to distribute for you? Do you have a studio? What about the editing? All right, everyone relax because I think I have the answer. Anchor app. Yeah, Anchor. It's free. They distribute Spotify, Apple, many more. There's creation tools that allow you to edit and create your podcast from your phone, your laptop, or your personal computer. And the best thing of all, girl, you can make money no matter how many listeners you have. So the answer is simple. Get Anchor. Anchor FM app. Go find it now. Tell them a seat at the table sent you.
I left a note in the hallway. Every time you read it, I'll be on the way. Oh, should I do a Britney version? Okay. I left a note in the hallway. Every time you read it, I'll be far away. I don't know if Britney would. Okay, keep going. I'm far away. And I ain't fucking with nobody. Let's have a toast to the good life. Suicide before you. The tears roll down my eyes. Me and my daughter, we gon' be alright. We gon' live a good life. You know, I was looking at a video of Britney Jean this week, and my heart broketh. You know, it's like, listen, we talked about this before, but many people have not recovered. One night in Paris. We've talked about this. Many people have gone to Paris for one night and they have not recovered. Think about it. Kanye West, when did he start his downward spiral? When he started hanging out in Paris all the time, when he made Watch the Throne with Jay-Z, there was a lot of Coke references on that album. That album was largely produced and recorded in Paris. Our dear friend Lindsay Lindsay La Lohan, the Empress of Long Island, she hung out with Paris Hilton and them. She ain't been the same since. Okay. Our good girlfriend Britney Jean Spears. Think about it. When did Britney start her downward spiral? Number one, she started when she started cheating on Justin, and then it really had gotten out of hand. And I'm just making shit up. I don't know anything for sure, so don't quote me. But, this is fun. So I really think that it got out of hand with Britney when she started hanging out with Paris and Nicole. Them bitches. It's so funny that of that time, everyone has had a rough transition except for Paris and Nicole. Those two would be least likely to have ended up. Like, think about that show. The Simple Life was a hilarious show. If you are too young to remember The Simple Life, it was one of the great grand Negroes of the reality show genre. It featured a young Paris and Nicole traipsing around the country in search of rural good times with back of the woods good salt of the earth people. And that normally led to some hijinks of the Beverly Hills Hollywood kind. Now, listen, those two led a really it was well known. Nicole, didn't we just go into the show? Didn't we just boom, just slide right into the show? We didn't even think about it. But you are tuned in to an all new episode of A Seat at the Table podcast, where if you are not at the table, then that means you're on the menu. But there's always a place here for you. So welcome to episode number 100 and whatever this is. We'll get it right when we post it, right? Who cares? What matters is this has been the longest day of my life. 2020 has literally been the longest day of my entire existence. You guys, it's September. It is September. Think about it. If it's September, that means we've got, what, 3 more months until the end of the year? And I know that everybody is wanting to believe that 2020 is like a light switch. Once we flip the switch, everything will be back to normal. I say that if you are living in a particular way, I think that the things that affect the earth right now, such as the pandemic, such as the global hunger, global poverty, and we're going to get into this pandemic and at least locally the effects that it's been having. I mean, I guess we could slide into it right now, but you can find a Seat at the Table podcast, all one word. A Seat at the Table pod on Instagram. Is it a Seat at the Table podcast or a Seat at the Table pod? I don't know. The content, I mean, look at the material. It's not that compelling. You know what I mean? Like, I post the show, I go about my business. Have a nice fucking day. Now, I will tell you this. You know the evil ex that we hate so much? Mine, not yours. I'm sure you have one too. Do you have one? Have we talked about your evil ex? Everyone has an evil ex, right? Everyone has an ex that, like, really girded their loins. Now, for some of you, that may be a baby's mom or a baby's dad. You fucked around and made it permanent. But for many of us, it's just someone in the past that really fucked us over good. They really, and I hate to be, I hate to tell it in circumstance of like victimhood, because I think that everything, at least for, okay, all right, relax. I like to think of it because, listen, every relationship, every situation is an opportunity for me to learn something. Now, when I'm going through it, and it doesn't necessarily feel good. But, as a young white poetess once said, it's the climb. It's the climb. It's always going to be a up. Listen, it is the climb. Okay, come on, Miley Cyrus. Oh, have you guys seen her lately? I want to talk about this mullet that she has and how she stole that idea from me. I can't have shit. If anybody was worth their girt and loins, they would just be paying me for my ideas, because I have really good ones. Ask about me, okay? Ask about me. Okay, so we started out talking about God, what were we talking about? We kind of ping-ponged all over the place, but it's good to really have been in a place where this year I was talking about in particular kind of how I felt about this year, but it feels like it's been just one endless day. And for me, I think the balance has been some really amazing things happening, and just some real, I think, balancing still with mental health, and it's self-talking when depression kind of hits, and self-talking when anxiety hits. And I have to tell you, the spiral for me oftentimes is just letting my brain just go and not stopping myself, right? Allowing my brain to control me. So I celebrated my 41st birthday this week, Friday, B-Day, G-Day, okay? And it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, I have been talking to you guys and to anyone who will listen about how much I actually do not like my birthday and I don't like celebrating it. Well, the universe responded in a way that only it could. Now, when you start to speak things into existence, whether they be bad or good, you have to understand that the universe will rise up to give you that which you desire. So, I have been talking about how dreadful my birthday is and how much I don't like celebrating it and how it's never been good and blah blah blah. And what I actually did was really conjure up that vibration for my birthday. Now, I'm not saying that, anything in particular happened that was damning, but, I definitely shed some tears because I um, seemingly allowed the universe to rise up and meet me. I think that that's all that happened. I could have put a different vibration onto it, but nonetheless, I am excited that that I'm in a place now where I can talk to myself about what it is that I am thinking. And I know that I can not control, but I, what is happening around me is not hapless. And when I am involved, when I see certain situations, when things are, you know, when I see the mirror of what I am holding up and the universe gives that back to me, I am able to respond in a way of consciousness that isn't just in a victimhood state of like, oh my God, I can't believe this person did this to me, but really getting to a place where I could say, okay, what is the universe trying to show me by this situation in terms of my own reaction and the vibration that I've been putting out there and how it's responding to me. So, I love to be in that place, and I love that that's what 2020 is giving. And I am excited about the level of success and love and abundance that this year has brought and that it will bring, because I believe that there's so much more for all of us out there. So I'm putting that out there for us, and I'm going to burn some sage before the end of the weekend and breathe deeply in and out and really just get into what I want, the vibration that I want to put out there and what I hope to receive back. So yeah, that was my birthday weekend. Spent some time with family. Yeah, went up by my sister, and that was amazing. Because it's always good to just kind of recalibrate, even with that kind of vibration, even though you know that your family is filled with people who, here's a secret that many people won't say. My family is extremely toxic. I love them to death, but they're toxic, okay? Um, and I'm not talking about one side in particular, you know what I mean? But I say that to say that not that they are bad people, but there's definitely some interfamily culture that we have really adopted over the years that aren't necessarily great. There is culturally things that we say and that we do and that we impart and impact on each other that aren't necessarily positive. But we dredge on because we don't get to pick our family. And that's why friends are so important, because they are the family that you get to pick. And vibrationally, the people that you are friends with says a lot about you. The people that you choose says a lot about you. So, beyond that, I went to a really amazing, now, I can't explain what the Jamaican American experience is for you in any particular way. I think, shout out to Kid Fury. A lot of times he kind of interweaves a lot of that into his discussion. For me, my experience is just my experience. I don't really know how to explain it to you because it isn't indicative of all Jamaican American born experiences. I think mine is unique to me. But what I will say is, for a long time, I think culturally, I was not really into the vibes, you know, because you're in it, you know. And for me, it was important for me to get out there and explore other things. And, but I will say this. I went to a party with my younger cousin, who's a grown damn man, but last night, Saturday night, little reggae shindig, if you will. And it felt like being on the set of a late